expert, posted a video to his 2.6 million followers. It's now been removed and he's been arrested. Although Dubai is more relaxed than other parts of the Middle East, its laws forbid speech or satire that's critical or insults the United Arab Emirates.
It says that Miss Allen is being charged for shouting, which is a crime under UAE laws, and it can warrant up to 2 years in prison. She says Tiara is desperately trying to work out how to get out of Dubai. Police have held her in the country without prosecuting her. Police are supposed to either prosecute or drop the charges after a period of 3.5 weeks. This hasn't happened.
Then I found out girls are getting paid 60 G's to go shit in a bucket in Dubai. I'm like,
60 G's?
I was like,
you just dropped the number.
The hardest part about being there was being a woman.
That it is very common practice in Dubai in order to extort money out of travelers. Elizabeth was traveling with a friend and they had a layover in Dubai. Now, when she went through security, she says she had to take off a medical brace that she was wearing around her waist. And she says some female screeners got rough with her in the process of that. When they did allow her to put the brace back on, she says she needed her friend's help and that she was crying, and she nudged one of the screeners' arms in order to get to her friend so that her friend could help her. And that is when she was detained.
Hey, so I was editing the video and I noticed there's a dog hair on my face, so apologies for that. Anyway, here's my dog. Hope all is fantastic. Today I'm going to talk about amazing place. A beautiful place that you can only dream of. Everybody knows of Dubai, the lifestyle, fashion, luxury, glamour, with people coming all over the world to see the world's tallest building. Even Tom Cruise climbing the Burj Khalifa at 2,716 feet. The Burj is more than twice the height of the Empire State Building. Yet there is another side and a facade of the city that many people ignore, or BBC News has reported that local newspapers often carry stories of construction workers allegedly not being paid for months on end. They're not allowed to move jobs, and if they leave the country to go home, they'll almost certainly lose the money they say that they are owed. Additionally, some of the workers have allegedly been forced to give up their passports upon entering Dubai, making it difficult to return home. The city's legal system and unequal treatment for foreigners has been brought to light by its attempts to cover up info on the 2007 rape of a 15-year-old French-Swiss national by 3 locals, one of whom had HIV positive status, was hidden by the authorities for several months, and by recent mass imprisonment of migrant laborers, most of whom were from Asia, on account from their protests against poor wages and living conditions. Despite protests and all that fun jazz by Human Rights Watch and several governments, companies allegedly continue to take the passports of workers and refuse to pay promised salaries. These practices have been labeled as modern slavery by some organizations. According to the Dubai's law, a husband is also permitted to beat his children and wife. Also, homosexuality is illegal. Death penalty is one of the punishments for homosexuality. Kissing in some public places is illegal and can result in deportation. Expats in Dubai have been deported for kissing in public. Dubai has a modest dress code. The dress code is part of Dubai's criminal law. Sleeveless tops and short dresses are not allowed in Dubai's malls. Clothing must be an appropriate length. Expats and tourists are not allowed to consume alcohol outside of licensed venues. It is a crime punishable by death in the UAE, apostasy. In practice, this has never been applied. UAE incorporates hooded crimes of Sharia law in its penal code, apostasy being one of them. Article 1 and Article 66 of UAE's penal code requires hooded crimes to be punished with the death penalty. Therefore, apostasy is punishable by death in the UAE. Non-Muslim people can be liable to Sharia rulings on marriage, divorce, and child custody as well. Emirate women must receive permission from male guardian to marry and remarry. The requirement is derived from Sharia and has been a federal law since 2005. In the UAE, a marriage union between a Muslim woman and a non-Muslim man is punishable by law since it is considered a form of fornication. During the month of Ramadan, it is illegal to publicly drink or smoke between sunrise and sunset. Exceptions are made for pregnant women and children. So if you see a drinking child or a smoking child, it's okay. The law applies to both Muslims and non-Muslims, and failure to comply may result in arrest. In 2008, a Russian woman was put on trial for drinking juice in public during the month of Ramadan. I wonder what kind of juice. If it's orange juice, fantastic. If it's apple juice, she deserves it. In 2021, Dubai authorities removed the need for restaurants to apply for permits to serve food during Ramadan fasting hours. With this, Dubai's Department of Economic Development, or DED, also withdrew the requirements to place screens and curtains over mall courts and restaurants. However, it's still not allowed to eat in public. Sharing a hotel room with the opposite sex is prohibited under Dubai's law, unless married or closely related. There is to be no display of public affection, or PDA, in Dubai. Taking pictures of women without their consent is also prohibited. It's also gross all around the world. Dubai is very conservative when it comes to bad language as well. Swearing, insults, and making rude gestures was considered obscene acts, and offenders can be fined or jailed as well. A couple years ago, a British man was arrested for sticking his middle finger up to another motorist while driving to Dubai's international airport. The 23-year-old faced 6 months in jail for the crime, but was released after his accuser failed to turn up in court. Importing pork products and pornography in the UAE is illegal. The Foreign Office says video, books, and magazines may be subject to scrutiny and censorship. Cross-dressing is illegal as well in the UAE, and anyone caught doing so risks being imprisoned. All sex outside marriage is illegal in Dubai. If the authorities become aware that a person is conducting a sexual relationship outside their marriage, they run the risk of prosecution, imprisonment, and also a fine and deportation, according to the Foreign Office. They do other things in Dubai that is questionable, but it's all part of the dough, which is quite alright for them. Kissing and hugging in public are also strictly prohibited, as if living or sharing a hotel room with someone of the opposite sex, unless you are married or closely related, is not enough. There are many notes that tourists are rarely prosecuted for this. Love Island stars Tyrone Clarkson and Rosie Williams both spoke to the BBC. Clarkson claimed it's the high-end prostitution. It's just scary to think if they've messaged me, they probably sent it to thousands of pretty girls on Instagram. I've known many models from my fashion photography past that they've actually received many messages and DMs from Dubai people offering huge amounts of money per day and fly them out there for partying and so forth, and photo shoots. They may want to rethink that after what I'm about to say. This person first propositioned at 19 years old with an offer of $26,000 for dinner and drink. After starring in Love Island series 2, the value of the offers increased, and she claimed that she was offered about $50K for 5 nights in Dubai on the condition that she signed a non-disclosure agreement, and what she would be required to do would remain confidential. Sort of a little bit of a red flag there. Carson refused these offers, but voiced her concerns that more vulnerable influencers who are struggling may feel the pressure to accept these transactions. Rosie Williams, another Love Island star, said she was offered about $130,000 a year in addition to all the clothes and bags she wanted, if she would become a companion to a man in Dubai. These offers are often described by the men of special agencies as important transactions. She said you're warned about trolling. Also, you're warned that your life will change dramatically. The women who are involved with this will not want to hear the word prostitution. The reality is that they are selling their bodies for money. The groomers are offering the women everything she needs to be a success at her job as an influencer. But ultimately, the exploitation, and that women will have to do things for that money that she doesn't want to associate herself with, that make her feel ashamed. Unfortunately. At the time, Dubai porta-potties were almost an urban legend, something that some communities on the internet knew about, but overall they were something of a mist that most of the population, and certainly not the mainstream media, had even heard about. Fast forward many years later, and almost everybody knows what a Dubai porta-potty is. If you don't know, Dubai porta-potties have gone viral on TikTok and YouTube. So then, are Dubai porta-potties still a thing? Are the rumors true? More than likely, yes, but we will dive in shortly. Have you ever wondered why in these girls' bios there is often an email address for booking inquiries, despite the fact that these people are not actual influencers or models? Being a working girl is not a new concept. It is also of no great surprise. Dubai has become known as a global sex tourism hub. For decades, Dubai has a reputation for flying sex workers and sex trafficking women for decades, despite sex work being illegal in all UAE states. In fact, prostitution has turned Dubai into the go-to destination for sex tourism in the Gulf. Although there is probably a lot more people that aren't configured in this situation. Many of these women traffic from countries such as Bangladesh under the impression that they will be working as domestic workers. So in a nutshell, a Dubai porta potty is a woman, usually an Instagram model, who gets flown out to Dubai by a rich emirate who pays them to do horrible, disgusting things. And I'm not just talking about little 50 shades of gray action. The most well-known request is for the women to allow the men to poop in their mouths. This is why the girls are known as porta potties. Their mouth is a porta potty, to say the least. Yummy. What would you get paid to have somebody poo in your mouth? A portable toilet is something of the extraordinary feats. I don't know where they got this idea, and please let me know in the comments below why is this a thing over there. Now these screenshots on the internet are mostly fakes, in the sense that the person asking the girls to do this in Dubai is usually a troll. However, the girls are real, and in their minds they are truly agreeing to do these things. There are a lot of actually real photographs and video footage of this stuff online. Please don't look it up, it is disgusting. Unless you're eating some chili soup, and maybe it will seem like a opposite direction of a video. The way that these conversations begin is that the man will send a DM asking the girl if she wants to go to Dubai for an all-expensive paid trip, such as some of the people I know. Usually the girls know the drill and they immediately begin talking numbers. The guy will offer around 5K for normal sex, but then very quickly will start talking about how he will pay big money if she will indulge his more unusual preferences. Another red flag. A certain woman remained anonymous, shared her story with Elena Celebrity News, who later deleted the article. Here's what she said. I've literally been peed on and pooed on so many times I just don't understand why they like it. After the third time that they poo on me, I just get used to it. I've also had sex with a German Shepherd dog in front of them, which in front of them means a Saudi Arabia royalty. I've got paid to get beat up. I've even had to stick a live salmon in some 65-year-old man's booty. I've had sex with a 14-year-old boy to make them men. I smeared poo on my face. So to all of you ladies who are going to bash me, I'm 24 years old and have $1 million liquid in my account. I'm now retired who can have normal sex with whoever I want. I'm now retired and can have normal sex with whoever I want. I say sex not as a child, but just to make sure I'm okay with YouTube. Building an illegal weapons factory is expensive, of course. We all know that factory that we are trying to build with illegal weapons. It can be pricey. When convicted torturer Ross Reggio built his factory in Iraq and manufactured guns that ended up in the hands of militant groups, including Hamas, he needed millions of dollars. That money came from another person, Zara, the son of a Kurdish billionaire. Reggio, whose case Rolling Stone covered in depth, is now in jail, but until recently, the whereabouts of Farouk have remained a mystery. Farouk was allied with a powerful Kurdish politician in northern Iraq. The illegal weapons factory set up by Reggio and Farouk was shut down. There are many shady characters in Dubai. What are they doing exactly? Leaked data, which comes from the Dubai Land Department, as well as publicity-owned utility companies, was reviewed by Rolling Stone's partner on this project, the nonprofit and government accountability project. The data provides a detailed overview of hundreds of thousands of properties in Dubai and info about their ownership or usage, largely from 2020 to 2022. The data includes a significant number of people who have been accused of convicted crimes, face international sanctions, or gang leaders buying up property and making deals without restrictions, and also doing trafficking. The data shows Khalid, a former Afghan government official and accused of war crimes, has apparently made a home in Dubai. Khalid served in a variety of roles in the American-backed Afghan government, including head of the country's intelligence service. Fishy. Khalid was known to have had a dungeon in Ghanzi. Richard Colvin, a Canadian diplomat, told a Canadian Parliament Commission in 2009 he was known to be running narcotics operation. He had a criminal gang. He had people killed who got in his way as well, as we all do when we go to McDonald's. Until recently, the United Arab Emirates lacked extradition treaties with many countries, making it a go-to destination for fugitives from around the globe. But even with these treaties, extradition is still difficult. If the Emirates see no benefit to extradite somebody, they will not surrender a wanted person. An attorney with a human rights advocate, Sterling, who leads the legal assistance organization detained in Dubai, said this. So what do you think of Dubai? Would you want to go? After reading into all this and seeing all this online, no, I do not want to go. Is there anything that you love about Dubai? Let me know in the comments below what you think of Dubai. Have you been? Let me know. Have a great one. Bye.